Illustrations by Pete.
Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on the video today again. Today I'm going to review these couple of pens and inks, and I mentioned that in the last video. I said I was going to review these. So the first one is the MOONMAN T1, and it has the Diamine Oxblood ink in it, and it's a really nice pen. I enjoy it. It's smooth. It gave me no trouble, didn't cut out on me at all. And I put it through the tester. You'll see me draw a lot of lines with it, and it's a great little pen that made me enjoy writing with fountain pens. The second one is the Hongdian Black Forest, and I'm using the Diamine Twilight ink in there, and that's again it's a little bit drier. It seems just when I draw for long periods of time, it seems to be a little bit drier. But overall, it's about the same. It didn't cut out on me, didn't skip. I tend to be heavy-handed, so you'll notice how far down I hold the pens, especially that one, because I think the nib is just a little bit, it's not really scratchy, but it's just a little bit scratchier than the MOONMAN pen, so I hold it even further down on the barrel. And then I use a dip pen for I just do a quick tiny little demonstration with the Diamine Aurora ink, and that's just a small little spot, but it's good. I like the ink a lot. I really do. Okay, so I just want to get something off my chest. I'm not going to talk about this the whole video, but I just need to get this off my chest. And I wanted to talk about a subject that it may cause some people to feel the need to correct me in the comments, and that's fine too, but just hear me out. Give me a chance to explain my statements, and then you can yell at me later, okay? Is that fair? So the topic is, are you a successful artist? And I know, I've heard everyone say that this is subjective because they think that maybe it has something to do with their career, but maybe it's possible that you can decide whether you're a successful artist without determining whether you're successful in your career as an artist, and you can look at this more objectively. So just hear me out. Let me talk to you about this a little bit. And yes, I'll admit that everyone can have a different idea of what being successful is in your career as an artist, but I don't think you have to intermingle the two. I think you can talk about them separately. So what is the goal of art? Typically, it's to communicate something, right? It's a kind of language. Well, sometimes it's to communicate an idea, but almost all art communicates an emotion or a feeling. So if you're painting a tree or a bird or a house, you want people to feel something about that object. You paint it to express how you see it, and you really hope that that resonates with someone else so that they see what you see, or if you paint characters or whatever the case is. Now, this isn't the main focus of all art. Some people draw hyper-realism, if that's even really a term. Realism is realism, but some people call it hyper-realism because they try and make it look exactly like a photograph. But even those people, their end goal is to frame it so it's pleasing to look at. They still want people to enjoy what they're seeing, and that's still a part of their process. So most abstract art is solely comprised of studying how the eye moves across a piece and the emotion it conveys. Now, some people like that and some people don't. I'm going to do a separate video about that, but that's for another day. So if art's purpose is to communicate something, and you find one person who gets it or gets you, then I think you're successful as an artist. I think you have communicated something, and you found someone who understands the communication and who appreciates it. Good job. Now, I think you can be more or less successful in this way. You could find a large crowd that gets it or a small crowd that gets it, and that's where I think the subjective side comes in. But did you mean for a large crowd to get it or just a small crowd? For example, most people like bright colors because it makes them happy or whatever. But there is a smaller crowd that likes dreary paintings. That's what they particularly like. So the level of communication can be looked at as more or less successful, but overall, did you communicate to someone, and did they get it? Now, the simpler you make your expression, the more successful you be. So now, listen, That doesn't mean you should make your expression simple. That's not what I'm saying here. But it's just an observation. For example, I love birds, I love landscapes, and any kind of nature. So when I paint nature and someone says, oh, that looks nice, or that's pretty, or I love that animal, or the way the sunset looks, or whatever, then I've become successful in my effort to portray that thing in a delightful way. But if I paint an apple, let's say the apple is half eaten, and it's supposed to represent some obscure principle of life and the human condition, or political statement, or religious or social statement, and someone says, oh, that's a realistic painting, good job, then I'm not successful because I didn't communicate my message. So let me give you another example. If I smear bright colors across a page, and it's an abstract piece, and my only goal is to express maybe joy or something interesting and fun for the eye to look at, and someone says, hey, that's interesting to look at, it makes me feel happy, then I was successful. But if the point of that was to display that my hometown is now destroyed, and when all those bright colors were in place, they made a beautiful picture, but now you can't recognize its form, and someone gave me the same reaction and said, oh, that's interesting to look at, it makes me feel happy, then I'm not successful. And if you have to write a book to let people know that what your art is about, then maybe you will not be as successful as you would like with your art in the beginning. Now, artists in that approach of art, they typically become known and people eventually learn what their art is, but usually they still have to explain every piece because their expression isn't obvious. I think that simple emotions and messages are just easier to convey and be successful than with negative messages, or maybe something that's supposed to be about something that you have to sit there and explain for several paragraphs and people don't really get right away. I don't know. I like to use muted palettes and maybe one or two bright colors, but not because I want anything dreary. I just like the way it looks to my eye. It's about what I find pleasing to look at, and I guess it's about the communication I'm trying to make. Most of the time, what I'm doing is very, I don't know, I just want to create something that highlights something in a way that makes it interesting to look at. It doesn't matter if it's an animal or a landscape or some kind of unidentified object, or even a drawing like this where it's just a simple, cartoony looking situation. Anyway, let me know if you agree with me. If you don't, that's fine. You can yell at me and burn me at the stake in the comments. That's fine also. But that's about all I have to say about that. Okay. Now it is time to get serious. So, do you ever use a stapler and it gets jammed and it does not work well at all? A stapler is a very simple piece of technology. And you shouldn't have to think about whether it's going to work or not. It's a stapler. You need one, you grab one. But the first thought that always goes through my head when I do grab one is, I hope this works. Why wouldn't it work? It's a stapler. It only has one job. But how many times do you grab a stapler and it doesn't work like it's supposed to? Why would they produce a product that is so common in so many offices around the world that it doesn't even work, and then they keep producing them? I don't understand this. And some of them work most of the time until they get to those last few staples, and then they just jam up and they get stuck to the page, and you have two choices at that point. You can either rip that paper out and tear it, or you can push it again and see if you can resolve the situation. But it never resolves when you push it again. Trust me, I always push it again. And what ends up happening is, well, I guess I just push it harder because I don't want to rip the paper. But it just makes the jam worse. And then I have this ball of staples on the end of it. And I have to rip the paper away anyway because you can't leave it like that. And the staple puller won't pull out, a ball of staples cleanly, right? It reminds me of that movie Office Space with the guy who keeps asking for a stapler. I get it. I really get it. If I found a stapler that worked every time I needed it to work, I wouldn't let anyone else take that from me. I don't use staplers very often, but when I do, I need them to work correctly. Can anyone else relate to this? Does this just happen to everyone, or am I so awkward that I can't use a stapler correctly? Listen, sometimes I slam it as quickly and as hard as I can because I think it won't give it a chance to mess up. I don't even just pick it, I just put the paper in there and I just slam it. And when it does mess up, I've got a jam that's so bad that I have jammed a stapler so bad that I couldn't unjam it without using tools to get it unstuck. Have you ever jammed a stapler so bad that you needed to work on it with tools? Do you know how embarrassing it is to work somewhere where you need to go down to the production floor to find tools? And when they ask you, oh, what do you need those tools for? You say, I jammed the stapler again. Do you know what kind of looks you get from saying something like that? You can tell they're trying to process what you just said like you couldn't possibly have said it, because they just stop everything and look at you. It's like they can't process what they just heard. Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest. I appreciate this this time that you're giving me and letting me vent those things. Maybe it's time to talk about the drawing a little bit. So the really nice thing about fountain pen ink is most of them are not, they're water soluble. They're not water resistant at all. So after doing something like this, you can just apply water and you can get a nice gradient on it. It doesn't dissolve all the lines underneath, so I don't know. It's pleasing for me to. I enjoy it. It's a satisfying experience. Well, with this being October, I just wanted to do a little. I wanted to do a pumpkin originally, and I started to draw the pumpkin. I was going to draw some tree in the background, but I just decided in the beginning. I said, no, let me put a little creepy looking house back here and see how that works. Not that it's extraordinarily creepy. It's just a house in the middle of nowhere with a dead tree in its front yard, and there's a single pumpkin out in the field or on the path. Is it the front yard? I think it's the front yard, but that's it. It's just a little picture to demonstrate the stuff that I'm using. I'm going to put the links for those things down below, and if you do check them out and you go through the link, it does help me. It helps the channel a little bit, and it's greatly appreciated. Well, I really enjoyed this drawing or painting, and I think I've said that a couple times already, but it was fun. I enjoyed making the wash with the ink. They're beautiful colors, and I like how on both of them the red looks almost black until you put another color next to it, and then the twilight, which is really just a really dark blue, also looks black until you water it down. The green, that Aurora Borealis, I believe it's called, it is it has like a reddish, when it's not there because I thinned it out with the water, but it has this reddish hue to it when you lay it on really thick. And I have separated out yeah, I filled that MOONMAN pen with that ink right now. I emptied out the oxblood ink, even though I love the oxblood ink. I think it's a beautiful color, but I emptied it out and I went ahead and put the Aurora Borealis in there, and it has this real thick green with like a reddish highlight. It's very strange, but it's very nice. It's very pretty. Highly recommended these supplies. I sure do. Well, please like and subscribe and all the things you're supposed to do. Ring my bell and all that good stuff. And I will see you on the next video. Hopefully it'll be, I'll have a little bit more interesting things to talk about. I just had to get the stapler thing off my chest, and I wanted to talk about communication as an artist. I think it's important. Well, thank you very much. I hope everyone has a wonderful day or night, depending on when you see this. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.